Cool. Okay. Good afternoon. As a preliminary matter, this is John Brescher, Chair of the Real Estate Assessment Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Rhoda Weinman.
Aye.
Benny Dye.
Aye.
Lee Saperstein.
Aye.
Tom Barada.
Aye.
Beautiful. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ken Bogrand.
Present.
Allison Mitchell.
Aye.
And let's see, anticipated potential speakers, please respond in the affirmative. Vicki Marsh.
Present.
And Jamie Griffo.
Here.
Oh. Fantastic. Good afternoon. This open meeting of the Real Estate Assessment Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of the public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment to those members of the public who have joined the meeting via Zoom. For this meeting, the Real Estate Assessment Committee is convening by video conference via the Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public can be joined. For Zoom meetings, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Currently, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and take your not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I, the chair, knows otherwise. All right, now let's go to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, let's go over some ground rules. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. If they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members and invite each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called further. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself for items of public comment. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public who have joined via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Each vote taken will be conducted by a roll call vote. So, good for us. All right, so I believe the first item on the, can I have an approval? Procedurally, I guess we need to go through everything again. So may I please have an approval of the agenda as written?
So moved.
Okay, motion made. Is there, I assume there's a second?
Second.
It was Rhoda.
Fantastic. Let's see, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Rhoda Weinman.
Aye.
Penny Dye.
Aye.
Lee Saperstein.
Aye.
Thomas Barada.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is public comment. I'm assuming Mr. Griffo would like to talk when we get to the Auriga Street yard sale. And seeing as there are no other members of the public on here, we'll move over to the review of the situation relative to 5 and 9 Auriga yard sale. Vicki, do you want to go into this at all from last time, or do you want me to start and sort of recap where we are?
So I could do it either way. What would you prefer, John? Do you want to recap?
I'm sick of talking today, so go for it, Vicki. have at it for the first round.
Okay. So at the end of last meeting, I believe that the committee, REACT committee, had decided that they wanted to see a final version of the subdivision plan of Lot 5. And at that time, we decided to continue the meeting until today to have an opportunity to review that plan, as well as to consider voting on the consent for Lot 5, Auriga Street, as well as consents for 9 and 10 Auriga Street. So I think that brings us to today, correct?
I think that's right. So
Vicki, do you want to bring the committee up to speed on the discussions that we had this morning?
I just wanted to get us to the point where
I love it. I love it.
I'm really sorry. Mike?
We don't care.
You don't care?
There's no judging. You're fine.
I have to stick my dog in the car.
our dog walker is here and she gets very animated.
It was a very exciting time then. That's it.
Oh, and I hear someone else's dog.
That's my phone. My phone barks.
All right. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So, you know, gotta have some lightheartedness.
Absolutely.
Totally.
So, as of this morning, I had a conversation with Jamie Grifo, and I was informed that the subdivision plan of Lot 5 is not going to be approved by the planning board this week, and was subsequently not going to be therefore not in final form for consideration by the select board or for your consideration. So after speaking with a number of parties, namely Jamie and Mary Ann Hanley, who represents the buyers who are purchasing 9 Auriga, and we were able to determine that they could still complete their transaction for 9 Auriga in a timely fashion without having to worry about the subdivision plan for Lot 5 Auriga. And so therefore, we have decided that we would continue that, well, that they would decide to table that review of the Lot 5 Auriga consent until the planning board has reviewed and approved of that plan. And therefore, the only other items for your consideration today would be for the consents for 9 and 10 Auriga.
And the proposal for the select board would be to pull the third item with respect to 5 Auriga off of the select board agenda, and subject to your vote, recommend to the select board the approval of the consents and releases as drafted and approved by Vicky for lots 9 and 10.
And just to reiterate, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's between 9 and 10. It was just a land swap. You know, you sort of, for lack of sort of a lot line adjustment, but land was being swapped, and it was just internal lot lines between an owner and a property owned and controlled by the same person, just in an LLC.
Yes, they were adjusting the lot lines, but nonetheless, they were still dividing it as required, as prohibited really under the deed restriction deeds, and therefore they needed to come and receive a consent of the select board in order to be able to have divided these lots.
Okay. All right. Jamie, anything to add before we open it up to discussion with the committee, whatever there may be?
No, I don't think I have much more to add at this point. Happy to answer any questions, but we've agreed to sort of table the Lot 5 issue for now. And, you know, I do think there was some confusion as far as order of operations. Obviously, it's clear now that we do need to come to REAC and the select board to get approval to do the subdivision. And so we're either showing up at the planning board, you know, asking for contingent relief, or we're showing up here and asking for contingent relief. And you know, I guess that's a sort of an open question as far as I can tell, is who do we go to first to get the consent to then go to the other to get the consent? And maybe that's a bigger conversation than for today, but, you know, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Can I chime in for a second on that one, if I may?
Board approval of the A&R.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the comment, because it really is sort of a chicken or the egg discussion. I completely get that for Lot 5. My sense is that select board is going to take the position similar to, say, zoning board of appeals these days, where they want to be the final. They want you to have all approvals in hand before you go to them. But to be fair, I don't think that there's a policy anywhere written in stone for that. I think that's just likely sort of procedurally what would be preferred.
Well, not only preferred, it is the only thing that will work with respect to what I'm able to bring to the select board, because those are the constraints with respect to the position that I have and the recommendation that I make as the real estate property specialist for the town of Nantucket.
Vicky, go ahead.
I just want to add that I did speak with Leslie Snell this morning, since Andrew's away on vacation. And I wanted her input as to what she saw the planning boards, whether they need consent approval first. And she said, generally people do come to us first, to the planning board first. She said that they're like Ken said, and like you said, I don't think that there is a policy really in place, quite frankly. But I'm getting the sense from the select board in prior discussions that they would like to see things in a finished form, an approved form. And so I think that if they went to the planning board first, got their approval of the subdivision plan, and then came for the consent, under the circumstances of the division here, I don't think that they're going to have a problem with it. But
no, it's good. It's good to know for the practitioners about what the select board is expecting. And again, that there's no policy. I completely understand the chicken or the egg discussion. Any other committee members? Do you have anything? Comments, questions, observations, discussions, musings? Don't all jump at once.
Do we need two separate motions, Vicky, or is it each? Can it be done together?
John?
Yes, Rhoda.
At the last meeting on Friday, I was pretty much opposed to this. I felt very strongly that there was a deed restriction. I thought it was pretty clear in the deed that they needed the assent of the select board. And, I pretty much believe that. But when asking the question about what happens if this is denied, it's going to be kind of a mess, I think. So, I can pretty much back off on my feeling, although I do feel very strongly that if it's a deed restriction and the select board has to sign off on it, that's the process that they should go through, and they didn't. But, I'll back off on it because I don't think that there's much of a solution if we deny it. So that's where I am.
Okay. Penny?
I don't have anything to add to that.
Okay. Lee or Thomas?
We're only discussing here of the lots that are being added. We're not discussing or voting on anything of changing the lot line positions, correct?
No, yes and no. So we're only voting on that, the sort of call it the interior lot line adjustment by adding and taking away parcels between, I think, 9 and 10 Auriga Street. Are the numbers right? Yeah. Between 9 and 10. That's it. That there's a deed restriction that requires select board assent or consent, whatever you want to put it, for these anytime the lot lines are adjusted or they divide or subdivide the property to transfer amongst themselves. And they did it, and now they're asking for us to recommend the select board give their consent to do so.
Understood.
Yep.
There's no increase of additional rights or anything like that, Tom. It is an administrative thing that was unfortunately overlooked.
Understood.
And Tom, with respect to the issue that you've raised, I've instructed town council and the applicants have agreed that the town will be billing them for the full amount of time that's been involved in this process.
Understood.
Lee, anything?
Lee looks like he has been cut off.
No, he's there.
He hasn't moved.
I see his head moving.
You're right.
Oh dear. Okay. We're gonna leave that one off for the side. Committee members, for what it's worth, I have no issues with this item. I think this is fine. I appreciate that we do sort of, we're going backwards in time, but again, I'm okay with this. Procedurally, do we need one motion or two, assuming that we're in a position to start making motions?
Nikki?
Were these on your agenda as separate items or?
I think they were just under one.
Okay.
But previously they were
separate. Probably make one motion then, John?
Yeah, okay. So would anybody like to make the motion to direct the select board to assent, that we recommend to assent to the division and subdivision between 9 and 10 Auriga Street as shown on whatever the plan references?
And execute the two separate documents in that regard.
Yes, and execute the two separate documents necessary to effectuate the same.
Well, somebody has to do it. I'll do it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Motion has been made by Penny. Is there a second to the motion?
Oh, you're not even going to make me say it. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna make you say it. No, we've already said it as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
I'll second it for Penny.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Rhoda Wyman.
Aye.
Penny Dye.
Aye.
Lisa Apperstein.
Aye.
Thomas Barretta.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. All right. I believe that is the final item on our agenda.
Just one thing, Vicky, you will notify Erica of the decision of REAC and have the first two items can stay on the agenda and the third item pulled off of the agenda for the select board for Wednesday night.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And John, do you
Yes.
want to have any kind of vote or something to consider the lot, to table the lot 5, or it's being pulled and you will consider it when
I think I
would suggest that the application and have Jamie withdraw the application, and where they're ready, present a new application to be considered as part of the normal REAC process at our regular scheduled meetings.
I mean, it's just as a quick point of procedure. I don't think we have an action deadline necessarily, do we?
No.
Okay. I mean, I Jamie, for what it's worth, I'd probably withdraw and then just start it up again. And do it when you need to, just to make it cleaner that way. But it's fine. All right. I don't know. Let's call it a day. I got planning board. Life's good.
John?
Yeah.
Was this our holiday party? Because it was pretty lame.
Decidedly not. I'll see you all at the bakery next door tomorrow when they're open for a cookie. How about that?
Happy holidays to all of you.
Happy holidays to you.
Let the dog in.
I'll make a motion.
She's out with her walker.
All right. May I have a motion to adjourn at
10:23?
So
Yeah.
Okay, motion made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we can do a roll call vote.
Let's see the babes, Allie. Allie, come on, we have to see the baby.
Oh yeah, I want to see the baby.
That's the way all the meetings.
Yep,
should
that's
end.
how we end the meeting right here.
Beautiful. All right.
Oh my gosh, she's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Love it. All right, guys. Happy holidays until we'll see you in January.
And thank you.
Thank you.
And Ria, I just want to thank you guys for working through this. This was not the normal way that we want to do stuff, but I really appreciate all of your time, energy, effort, and willingness to, in fact, and particularly to Vicky, who really did handstands in order to be able to figure out how to be able to make this work for Marianne Hanley's client, who now, in fact, can close the transaction and have a good result from a tax purpose. So thanks to Vicky.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, thank you, everyone. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays, all.